Hello, Moto. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Ned over My Philippine Dreams. We're here at Mike's Darwin Dive Resort. A few people have asked me about the vehicle that we purchased, and basically what it comes down to, it is a 2017 Hyundai Tucson CRDI. That is a diesel engine. Before we get into anything else on this vehicle, I want to talk about some things that you don't want to neglect. First up is fuel. If you have a diesel engine, I've heard this from a number of Filipinos, get your fuel at Shell. We get it at the same station every time, because if you get fuel in your diesel, you're going to have problems. So you want to make sure you're getting your fuel from a reputable dealer, because you don't want to be getting that water in your diesel. The second thing I want to stress is keeping it in the shade. The sun here in the Philippines is relentless. It can cause all kinds of problems with the plastic fittings on the vehicle and your finish. The next thing I want to talk about is make sure you are using silicone lubricant on your window channels, because at least in this model, the power window system has this little plastic rotator thing in it, and if the sun's hitting it and the window channels aren't properly lubricated, the window has a hard time going up and down. It's going to strip that plastic gear system in here, and that's a $300 repair. So you want to make sure that you're keeping everything properly lubricated. I mean, that's a good general rule for life, using proper lubrication. So anyways, long story short, again, look at that mango damage. I don't know if that's mango damage or something else. That's a pretty hard hit right there. And it goes over there. So to add to those three things, the fourth thing is, if you're going to be here long term, you're not going to want to skimp when it comes to purchasing a vehicle. You're going to want something that's reliable, something that you can count on, something that when you push the button, the start button, the thing goes on. And on long trips, you don't have issues, because there aren't really a whole lot of repair shops and garages as you're going deeper and deeper into the Philippine wilderness. So you want to make sure you get something you can depend on. The first vehicle I had here was a imported, converted Mitsubishi Pajero diesel, and I had nothing but problems with it. A lot of other people that I know that have had conversions have also had problems with it. The only exception to that is the Suzuki multicab. I know a number of people that have Suzuki multicabs and absolutely love them. Also, the Suzuki multicab is extremely cheap to repair. I think the tires cost like 30 bucks. The transmission, you can just pull it out of the back. It's very easy to repair, so if it breaks down on a long trip, you're not going to have too many issues. Now, we were talking about shade earlier, keeping your vehicle in the shade. I keep ours under a mango tree, and I just noticed today that we have our first mango damage to the vehicle on the hood here. We got a little impact crater. So I'm gonna have to rig up a tarp or something to put over this to absorb the impact of the mangoes. Yeah, I probably should have cleaned. I didn't clean the car or wax it or vacuum it out before I did this video, so you're seeing it just as it is. The engine is a 2-liter diesel rated at 184 horsepower, and that's coupled to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and you can select between sports mode and eco mode. I always keep it in eco mode, because here in the Philippines you don't need to go fast. This engine, I'm very happy with the power output on this. I mean, when it comes to having to pass a sugarcane truck or get out of the way of something, the power is there when you need it. I think the fastest I've only gone on this thing is only 100 kilometers per hour, which is about 60 miles per hour. And that was up in Bacolod on this huge highway thing that they had built, and there was nobody else on it, and I just wanted to see what it could do. So I got it up. Actually, I think I got up to like 120. That's before we had the baby. Now we don't go that fast. The interior fittings is excellent. I really like the layout. We'll turn it on a little bit, talk about some of the features that it has. Also, another thing you're going to notice in the Philippines is everybody has seat covers. We actually have leather seats. They're nice leather seats, but again, with the sun, we got everything tinted except the front window, and with the sun hitting the leather, it's going to fade out the leather and crack the leather really fast. So everybody in the Philippines has seat covers. They also have floor mats. Floor mats are a big thing here, because as you can see, there's a lot of dirt, there's a lot of mud, there's a lot of grime coming in and out, so everybody's got the floor mats. It's got nice adjustable seats. Again, everybody knows my back issues, so the power seats with the memory function is really nice. So again, the cabin layout is really nice. It's really comfortable. I love the center console because I like to do my gangster lean as I'm listening to my tunes as I'm blasting down the road. Blasting down the road, yeah, sure. All right, so this is the back seats. Again, these go down, everybody knows, blah, blah, blah. Again, the floor mats, seat covers, all that stuff. It's really important. When you put the seats down, you got all kinds of cargo room. This is another big thing that people do in the Philippines. These are actually like baby mats. So when your baby's running around on the tile floor and she slips and falls, she won't bang her head, but this is good for keeping everything safe. It's got full-size spare jack. I've taken everything out, I've tested it. You can also use this as an oregano smuggling compartment if you farm oregano. So that's convenient. And the rear seating is very comfortable. You got a lot of leg room. You also got the dual zone air conditioning, which is very important. The air conditioning in this thing is excellent. So overall, and again, don't mind the mess, got our sling pack down there, water bottles. It's just a very comfortable and spacious layout. The driver wheel has all the usual controls that you'd expect. It's got the cruise control, it's got your audio functions, mute up and down, all that for your MP3 player. MP3 player has Bluetooth. The newer models of these Tucsons actually have a much bigger screen. You can watch movies and stuff on it. This one's basically pretty simple. It's got a CD, DVD player. It's got the radio, Bluetooth, MP3. We got an MP3 down in here now. Climate controls is excellent. I've never tested the heat because, hey man, we're in the Philippines. You don't need that. But the air conditioning is excellent in this thing. It starts up really fast, gets everything nice and cool. And on your doors, you get your usual, you know, window controls and all that stuff. It's all good. The light system on this thing, it's got HID lights. It's really good. The only problem is it's actually too bright, and you can actually adjust the angle of your lights with this. So I usually keep it down because a lot of people think I have my high beams on as I'm driving down the road because of the HIDs, and they flash me. Another thing that's really important, and I can't stress this one enough, and a lot of people have this in the Philippines, is a forward and rear camera system. This is a pretty basic system that came with the car. It's low light. It's not like thermal imaging or infrared, but it's the low light feature on it is really good. And again, it's got front and rear camera. Because you want, if you get into an accident in the Philippines, you're going to want to be able to cover your ass. You're going to want to have something to prove that you weren't at fault. Because whenever anybody, it doesn't matter if you're a Filipino or foreigner, whenever anybody gets into an accident in the Philippines, they always blame the other person. Another feature that we have, of course, in the Philippines is your parking lights. In other parts of the world, they call this hazard lights. But here in the Philippines, they are parking lights. So all you have to do is stop wherever you want, turn on your parking lights, and you're good. No one's going to question that. Alright, so when you start it up, it does the system check and all of that. You got all the doors open right now. And then when you close the door, a little trip computer goes up. You can select different features on it and everything. But I want everybody to notice, when I said I'm blasting around the Philippines, look at the average speed on this. Over 350 kilometers, I've gone an average of 20 kilometers per hour. Because in the Philippines, when you're driving around the city in particular, you're not going fast. And also notice the temperature at, what is it, 7:41 in the morning. It's already 83 degrees. And again, the truck is parked in the shade. 27,000 kilometers on this. When I purchased it, it had 22,000 kilometers. And let's see, we got a range left with about a half a tank of 324 kilometers. And it's showing an average of 9.7 kilometers per liter. That's actually low. It's usually averaging around 11 kilometers per liter on city driving or mixed driving. 11 kilometers per liter is about 26 to 27 miles per gallon, which is pretty good for mixed city and long distance driving. And when we're going on longer trips, the best we've been able to get so far is 19.3 kilometers per liter, which is 45 miles per gallon. So the fuel efficiency on this thing is off the chain. The reason we got 9.7 kilometers per liter right now is because we've been doing a lot of idling, sitting in. We had to go to PSA, had to do grocery shopping and stuff. Got the baby in the car, so we got to keep the car running. So a lot of idling. 6-speaker surround system, which is pretty fantastic. Oh yeah. And it's important to have a good sound system because a lot of times, again, you're stuck in traffic. And with a reliable, dependable vehicle like this, you got the aircon cranking, you got your music playing, so you're comfortable. Peace of mind, people. It's all about peace of mind. Now, before purchasing this, I did a lot of research. I spent a lot of time online trying to find the perfect vehicle. I knew, and this isn't my car, this isn't Chi-Chi's car, this isn't my wife's car, this is our baby's car, because this is the reason we bought it, because we're not going to be putting the baby on a scooter. So this is Zoe's car. She doesn't realize it yet, but she's got a car. I did a lot of research. Part of the research I did was on cars.com, and part of it was on JD Power. 2017 Hyundai Tucson #1 ranking is based on its score with the 2017 Affordable Compact SUVs category. It is the winner, and this is cars.com, of the 2020 Best Used Car for Teens Award and a finalist for our 2017 Best Compact SUV for the Money Award, and a finalist for our 2017 Best Compact SUV for Families Award. Currently on cars.com, the Hyundai Tucson has a rating of 8.6 out of 100. Now on JD Power says it had a predicted reliability rating of 4.5 out of 5, one of the best scores that JD Power offers. So I did my research, but then I had to find one, and I lucked out. This was this was a situation of somebody was leaving. Basically, it was a fire sale. He just wanted to get out of the Philippines. I was sitting in McDonald's one day, and I asked the fixer, John Paul here in Dumaguete City, I said, "Hey John Paul, you know anybody looking to sell a Hyundai Tucson or a Hyundai Accent CRDI?" And the gentleman piped up, "I am, Ned." And it's somebody that I had known for since I got here. So for 8 years, well, 7 years I had known him. And he had just sold his house down in Darwin for millions and millions and millions of pesos. He had a beautiful house down there. Him and his wife were just tired of the Philippines and wanted to go back to the United States. I told him the amount of money that I was willing to put in towards a vehicle, because we were looking at getting a new Toyota Wigo, which I'm glad we did it, looking back. So I told him we negotiated on terms, and I was able to get this bad boy for about 700,000 pesos, which at the time was 13,500 US dollars. Brand new, these go for about 1.5 to 1.6, depending on the appointments, and depending on if you get all-wheel drive and all that stuff. So again, I got lucky on this. I have not been lucky on getting a house, but we got lucky on this. And one final thing, again, I said that I got this for Zoe, and I did a lot of research on safety and all that stuff. This thing has 9 airbags in it. It's got the front airbags, it's got the current airbags up top, it's got current airbags in the back that deploy down and also along both sides. So if you impact a sugarcane truck at speed, you're going to be surrounded by bursting airbags. You'll definitely get your nose broken, but it'll help you survive. But again, I mentioned this before in this video, you're not going fast when you're in the Philippines. You know, when we're going around town, we're averaging about 20 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure what that is in miles per hour. I think it's like 12 miles an hour. And when we're on the quote-unquote national highways or highways, we're doing like 60, maybe 70 kilometers per hour. We previously noted the mango damage to the front hood, which is all good. And you can also notice there's some scraping damage right here. And this is from me entering the tight turn to get into Pink House, and we scraped up on the concrete. And when you're in a vehicle, that's a sound that you don't want to hear, is metal against concrete. So it did some damage there, but hey, it's all good. It's a used car. Alright, so a quick recap. Don't skimp if you're going to be here long term, and especially if you're going to have a family. Get something reliable, get something that's safe. If you have a diesel, get your fuel from Shell, preferably from the same station every time. Also, make sure you are keeping your precious vehicle out of the sun, and make sure you are silicone lubricating your window channels. because I also had problems with it, with the window channels and my Pajero. Pretty nasty. So anyways, that's my vehicle. That's our family's vehicle. This is Zoe's car. This is Ned over my Philippine dreams. We're gonna have breakfast now. Puppies, rainbows, unicorns, and reliable, dependable vehicles for all. See you next time on my Philippine dreams. Bye. Hey, if you consider our work to be of any value, consider supporting us on Patreon. If you're a Patreon, you get a free copy of my ebook, and we do monthly Google Hangouts. So consider doing that, if you would please.